I think if you're feeling a little bit of resistance, if you're looking to get into the online world, not sure how to navigate it, I'm not sure what people will think of your content or anything of that landscape. If you feel resistance, it's probably a good thing, and go do it. Try to block out the noise. As an online coach, I have some free stuff that you guys can take a look at. I kind of give you my viral Rails framework on how I post my content, and then a little Facebook group strategy. So if you're interested in generating more leads through Instagram, Facebook without having to pay for ads, my website is coach.gerardiperformance.com, and it's /podcast-gifts, completely free. If you're listening to this, go to there. And I give you guys everything that I know about content creation and social media. So just got to do it, rip the Band-Aid off and go all in.
So what does your day look like? I mean, what's an average day for you, man?
Well, since moving to Florida, I don't know if you know this, but the sun rises a little bit later. So it's about an hour behind. So I used to be like a 6 a.m. wake up person when I lived back in Boston. And because I trained clients that early in the morning. But since then, alarm goes off probably at 7. I have a couple in-person clients just to get me out of the house and socialize, like we were talking about, like the human-to-human in-person interaction. So that ends at about 11 a.m. And then I'm in front of a computer doing sales calls, checking in on online clients, and just posting on social media. And that's about it to this point, man. I'll take a bike ride in the middle of the day, go grab an acai bowl at the beach. But yeah, that's the flexibility that you have as an entrepreneur, is to be able to do that stuff, which is great. But I've also been on the other side of it where I thought I didn't want to do anything. Business runs by itself and I'll be happy, but you just feel so unfulfilled if you're not doing anything. I don't know if you've ever been in that position, but I know that that's not the road I want to go down, just from experience.
Well, I mean, at some point you'll be in that point where you just do whatever you want to do. And that's, because you're at some point you will have that passive income that's never stops,
Right.
And so, yeah, life is really, really good when you get your money right and when you have a lot of passive income. I mean, that's definitely, and that's why I do what I do. I mean, that's why I have a podcast. That's why I'm an author now. That's why I still speak. I'm actually doing a little event tonight. I'm constantly trying to fill the white space. Mm-hmm. But what's cool about it, I mean, when you get it right, I mean, you're filling the white space because it's progress. And really, happiness comes from progress. That is happiness. It's when you make progress. It's not because I made an extra $10,000 today. That's not, like, that doesn't make you happy. It's just digits in a computer screen. Mm-hmm. What really makes you happy is you go, okay, I built something that created that. Like, I built something that's why these things are happening. And could I do more? Right. I mean, I'm publishing my first coloring book. So I took my Wealth on the Beach book and I turned it into an actual coloring book. And I took all the principles and have really elaborate, detailed, cool pictures in there that kind of illustrate what I'm trying to get across inside the book. And it's just kind of it's more of an adult coloring book. Because we talk about principles, law of attraction, and sales, and lifting up people, and generational wealth, and we talk about that kind of stuff in the coloring book. But it's kind of a neat thing. That's why I do it, is because you're right. You don't ever want to not do anything. Now, granted, on the other side of that is, if you feel like taking a trip, then you take a trip. Next week, I'm going to Bali, Philippines, and Australia just because I want to. I've never been there before. So I'm like, all right, man, let's take, 3 weeks and let's just go travel wherever and do whatever I want to do and see everything that I've always wanted to see, and, scuba dive the Great Barrier Reef and do big swings in Bali and all kinds of stuff. So again, that's the beauty of why I've spent the last 25 years of my life trying to get people to see that freedom, choices, and options, if you do it right, could be incredibly fulfilling as a life. So I mean, do you have any dream locations, places that you want to travel, things that you want to do that's kind of on that bucket list?
Yeah, man. So speaking of like you going on that 3 week trip for the last 4 years now, I've wanted to go to Italy. So girlfriend and I, who works for me as well, going to Italy for 3 months this summer, just moving out of the apartment and living in Italy for 3 months. And being an online coach, like that's what it allows you to do. And yeah, you have a few extra expenses, but that's fine because you prepared for it. And so I've been disciplined enough to save up for it and set myself up to be in a position to do so. So I am so excited to get in the culture there.
That's awesome, man. That's fun, man. That's the kind of stuff, like that's living, right? And that is ultimately, that's selling the dream, man, for everybody to see that you can do that kind of stuff. I mean, to have an online business, to have a business that you can work with people through Zoom, wherever you want around the world. What a cool thing, man. There ain't no way anybody could ever get me to be in a cubicle. It just could never happen, man. I mean, because there's just, life is too much fun, and there's just too much, there's just too much to see and too much to do. So you got this thing down, man. I mean, any other last thoughts as we kind of close this out, man? Anything that you want to share with people, how they get a hold of you, what kind of other value that you might be able to bring to their life, anything else that you want to get across to our audience, man? Throw it out there. You got as long as you want, man. Tell us.
Cool. Yeah. I think if you're feeling a little bit of resistance, if you're looking to get into the online world, not sure how to navigate it, not sure what people will think of your content or anything of that landscape. If you feel resistance, it's probably a good thing, and go do it. Try to block out the noise. As an online coach, I have some free stuff that you guys can take a look at. I kind of give you my viral Rails framework on how I post my content, and then a little Facebook group strategy. So if you're interested in generating more leads through Instagram, Facebook without having to pay for ads, my website is coach.gerardiperformance.com, and it's /podcast-gifts, completely free. If you're listening to this, go to there. And I give you guys everything that I know about content creation and social media. So just got to do it, rip the Band-Aid off and go all in.
And how do we get in touch with you? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram is Michael Girardi. So GERARD as in dog I, and then an underscore. So Michael Girardi _. If you have any questions, definitely DM me. We'd be happy to chat with you and help any way I can.
If you like this video and you want to watch another one, click right here. If you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.